Hello, hello. You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. It's Friday, October 28th. Hope you've all had an outstanding week. Hope you're all excited for Halloween as well. I want to kick the week off with Guided by Voices and this new album, Scalping the Guru. This is the band's 37th studio album, I think. I don't know. There's probably some room for debate there. And their follow up to this year's Tremblers and Goggles by Rank. They also put out Crystal Nuns Cathedral this year. This band, since 2019, has put out 11 records. Robert Pollard and co. are just, they're a machine. They're an absolute just monster. But this new record is a lot of fun. It's very different. We are going back in time to 1993 and 1994 to four separate EPs. I want to get this right, so I'm going to look down at my list. Static Airplane Jive, Get Out of My Stations, there's Fast Japanese Spin Cycle, and Clown Prince of the Menthol Trailer. Robert Pollard, his lyrics, I mean, just the song titles, the exploration, the character studies, all of it. The man he's brilliant. He's fantastic to listen to, and I love that. But what I love about this record, very different from a lot of their stuff. This thing is like 34 minutes and 20 songs, a pretty hot number with a lot of tracks. But I love the way that this thing comes together. Robert oversaw the process, and I think he did a marvelous job of highlighting all of these tracks. These EPs are really difficult to find in their physical format. So to have the highlights of them come together in an album that really, I mean, it sounds like they could have just put this thing together 6 months ago and pumped it out. It's really, again, the continuity, the production, the way that it comes together is outstanding, because there's a lot of songs on this record that are under a minute. It's kind of an interesting project, but there's also some great pieces, some really just wonderful 2.5, 3 minute jams that obviously serve as the focal points, the centerpieces of this project. But it's just so great to hear the way that all this other artistry works around those tracks and comes together. We're going to get into the track list. Matter Eater Lad is your opener, lo-fi, garage driven. I really love the bit of Beatlesque pop flair, and that's the thing that I've always really enjoyed about their sound. Guided by Voices, all the different things as far as the lo-fi element, the garage rock, a little bit of punk rock, but there's this pop drive, this little bit of flair that really reminds me of the Beatles. And I'd argue it's why the Beatles were so successful. It's why the Beatles became the Beatles, is they had the ability, all of those guys, to just write songs that just sunk a hook into you and just wouldn't pull out, just wouldn't let go. And so it's I love the presence of that there. Damn Good Mr. Jam is your second track. Dig the arpeggiated riff to open this thing up, and the build behind it. But this track, it never takes off, and I appreciate the restraint that's there. It's something that I've really come to admire in artistry. I remember being a teenager, early 20s, and just would love every rock and roll track to just explode and take off. But as I've gotten older, I've certainly learned to appreciate what's going on in a song like this. Hunter Complex, your third track, is carried by a great rhythm. I love the bass tone on this song. It's just a really nice bass riff that's working here. Guitar walks right in, complements that riff. Great track. My Impression Now, your fourth song. Thick Fuzzy Textures, they provide a great background for Robert's vocals on this song, and I think the melodies on this particular track are some of my favorites. I really like the just the vocal hook and the melodies that Robert put together on that track. Scalding Creek, your fifth song, nice minimal element to it. It's almost got this kind of balladry style to it. Electric folk is what it made me think of, and there's a lot of songs on this record that capture that. It's kind of like Dylan going electric without a band behind him, if you will. It's a cool feel. I really appreciate it. Mobile, your sixth track, has some of that lo-fi punk flair. Really dig that kind of. The movement of this record is so much fun. It's you get these little pockets, and this is a great one right here. Melted Pot, your seventh track, has got this groovy garage rock feel. It's a little Beatle-esque as well. And then we get Glowboy Butlers. That's your eighth track. You get more of that hard rockin' feel, and we're getting kind of like some MC5 in this thing, a little bit of Stooges. Great little pocket of music on this record. Hey Aardvark is your ninth song. You're going back to that folk pop feel now. Excuse me. Trying to spit that out. It's a mouthful. Say it 10 times fast. And I like the transition there. Spring Tiger, your 10th song, you get this arpeggiated riff to open up. Vocal works right in. I like the way that it maintains this electronic folk, or I shouldn't say electronic, but electric folk feel. And a nice, again, that talking about the pockets, the folk pocket here is another solid one as well. You get Rubber Man, your 11th track. Just Pretty fast track here, got that garage rock feel, goes right into Big School, and it's going to keep that driving feel going. It's almost kind of like Rubberman acts as an intro or an opener to Big School. I really like the way that these two work together. Love the melody and the pop element of Big School. It's very catchy. It's definitely one of the highlights on this record for me as well. Vocal Drivers, your 13th track, acoustic driven, lots of playful instrumentation that enters in. Kind of reminded me a little bit of a band, the Decemberists is what I was hearing on this track. And then there's this noise rock element that works in. It's very interesting, fun song as well. Indian Fables, your 14th track. It's this really quick electric folk song. Pink Gun, your 15th track. It's going to keep it hot, a little bit of garage rock, a little bit of punk, right under a minute as well. Dusty Bushworms, your 16th track. Minimal, really like the electric guitar and vocal element, and the way it came together reminded me a lot of Sonic Youth when they kind of mellow out and there's not so much layering and texturing. A little bit of like the Velvet Underground as well, when there's just more of that kind of like simple two-note thing that's going on. They're just like, you know, working with that and letting it resonate. Gelatin, Ice Cream, Plum, only one of those things are vegan, is your 17th track. Love the melodies here. This is a great alternative rock track, and I think this is really the only song on this record that sounds like this song, so I love it for that reason as well. It really stands out for that reason. Fun track here. It's got solid driving bass. It's another nice feature that I love. But it's going to lead into your 18th track, Grandfather Westinghouse. This thing has got stomping drums, complementary guitar to open up, but it maintains this minimal feel. It's really cool for about 45 seconds. And then the music builds in. I love the feel of it. And then I love the way that this track fizzles out. It's really interesting. And the way that they're able to do so much in such a small span of time is another thing that makes their songwriting just so unique and so interesting to listen to. Johnny Appleseed, your penultimate track. Great folk feel, kind of like a post-punk feel mixed in with that as well. It's a great sound. I like the way that this song rides the acoustic riff that it's built on. And then it leads into your 20th song and your title track, Scalping the Guru. Like the acoustic driven rock that slowly builds in here, and it just builds up and then it cuts and the album's over. This is a great record. I dig Robert's work on this thing. He did a really nice job of organizing these tracks and arranging them. And I think this record, you know, aside from the fact that all of these songs are cool, it's just worth it to listen to recognize the effort that he put into identifying like what would just make this project sound the best. I mean, I'm sure that he worked these tracks in a lot of different orders in a lot of different ways, and the final product here is just really damn cool to listen to. So we're gonna vinyl please this thing. I know he's got it on there was like 100 cassettes. I think they're sold out. I think the vinyl might be sold out as well. I'm having a hard time of finding a good link here, but I'll keep digging around for that to hopefully provide you guys with that. And then, you know, just as always, keep checking your local record stores here in Tucson. We got a good old Zia Records, so it's always worth it to dip by there, buy local, and see if they can help you out with this project. But I hope you enjoyed this record. I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things to help Keith MB and I blow this project up in 2022, and stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.